Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to another episode of Parenthood on Tour. Yes, I'm reporting from Austin, Texas, and I'm bringing you these mini episodes along the way to give you updates on my trip. They will be unedited, so you will get the real raw deal. And it's basically like I'm having a chat to you about all of the ins and outs. I think last episode I was explaining to everyone all about my bladder and that was, yeah, we went really deep in that one. So if you haven't tuned in, feel free to dial back to the previous couple of episodes as I walk you through my trip. But firstly, if you listen to my first solo ep of this mini series, I did speak about the fact that I'd engaged a US publicist to try and get some opportunities to be on some podcasts and, God forbid, a TV show while I'm here. It's sort of the next goal of mine to further expand my reach and get more and more people to know about the awesome work that we're doing and how we're contributing here at Parenthood. So I did say to you that I'd thrown so much money at the wall and had a number of publicists who gave me zero return, and I was feeling really awful about all of that. But I found this really great one 2 weeks before my trip, and guess who just landed herself a opportunity to be on a TV show. Yes, yes, everyone. I shouldn't gloat, but I'm so freaking excited. So she's pulled it off. Basically, my publicist has managed to get me. Basically, what will be happening, I can't even speak, I'm so excited, is I'm flying on in like 10 days' time to Florida, and I will be on. So their major news channel is News 8, and then they have like a lifestyle sort of segment, I guess, TV show sort of thing that's attached to News 8. I think they call like a spin-off called Bloom TV. And there they talk more about lifestyle and things like that, which is obviously my area. And I will be filming for the TV show in about a week and a bit's time. And then following that, I'll be on I think either the News 8 or the Bloom TV podcast as well. So I'll be podcasting too. So I am so excited. It's just absolutely crazy to me that I will be on TV for the first time in the US over opportunity to be in Australia on Australian TV. I haven't, other than when I've done TV commercials and then I'm on Australian TV, but I'm acting. I've never been on TV where it's like reporter or person is asking Leonia Kiddenor about things that I know to be true, right? I've never been on TV as myself. So it is so incredibly exciting that I've been given this opportunity. I have, worked tirelessly, I guess, over a number of years to try and really, build up to an opportunity like this. So that means that I'll be able to tell you all the ins and outs of behind the scenes at a US TV station after the show. So yeah, stay tuned for that episode because I'll be so excited to jump on and fill you guys in on what happens behind the scenes. So Aussie represent, I can't bloody wait. But yes, while I'm in Austin, let me tell you a little bit about this town. So I don't know if any of you have been here. I definitely had thoughts about Texas. I thought it would be cactuses everywhere. I knew there'd be like shops. I'm not, and it'd be quite commercial. I'm not daft, but I definitely expected, more people wearing cowboy hats, cactuses, I don't know, like just really kind of hardcore Texas vibes. And I'm sure if there's probably other areas of Texas where you go out to and everyone is wearing cowboy hats and it does feel very much that vibe. But Austin really surprised me. It's a really small, I would say it's like a small town. Like it feels like Perth or it feels like Adelaide. No offense to Perth and Adelaide and that small town vibe, but coming from Melbourne, not that Melbourne's a huge city, but Adelaide, Perth, for example, does feel that little bit smaller and more boutique, I guess. And that's the vibe I got from Austin. Their main city centre was so incredibly clean, was so, there weren't actually any homeless people, many. I mean, I did see a couple, but when you travel, you expect to see, all sorts on the streets. And it was really interesting. Very clean streets, literally from a litter perspective, all of that, like just pristine. Again, I may have had the curated tour because my friend does live in Austin. So she took me to all of her favorite spots. We went to an area which was quite cosmopolitan and it has all the restaurants and things like that. She equated it to, like, for those in Melbourne, like a Chapel Street sort of equivalent. And it was just beautiful. Yeah, everything just felt new and beautiful. And yes, we walked past lots of stores that sold like the cowboy boots and the hats and things like that. But at the same time, it really did just feel like a beautiful little city. And yeah, I could definitely see how people would want to raise their children there, in that so much amenity at your doorstep. My friend lived in a beautiful suburb about 10 minutes from the CBD in a gated community. And everything they say, you do have to have a car in Texas, because it's unlike in New York where you can get the subway. The public transport isn't as great, but yeah, really, really different to what I thought. So incredibly beautiful. But it was interesting because we did speak about, with my friend, the fact that it is a Republican state. So, it's very conservative. And I don't know, I find US politics so, like, it's like a TV drama, like just so interesting with, potentially they're talking about Trump will probably run again and will probably get in. Like, that blows my mind. But yeah, it's a conservative, the red states, yeah, very conservative. Just having a sip of water, people, as I said, not edited, so you'll get that pause. And so, I mean, we were speaking a little bit about, for example, in the conservative states, they don't believe in abortion. So if you are in Texas, you cannot get an abortion, for example. And so, and my friend was sort of giving this example of something that she read in the New York Times, where there was this lady who basically, she's pregnant. She's quite far progressed in her pregnancy. I'm going to say about 27 weeks. She finds out that the pregnancy is essentially not viable. The child, if it were to live, would live for a couple of hours, a few days, if they were lucky. And the longer the child stayed in that mother's belly, the more risk it would have on the mother's health, and also the more risk it would have on the mother being able to fall pregnant again. So essentially, from a medical perspective, it would have made sense that the mother were to abort the child at that stage, given it was an unwell baby in her stomach. And she lived in Texas. So what happened was, they ended up, I think, they went to, so what you can do, you can leave the state apparently and have an abortion there, but there's a lot of like procedure and protocol as well around that. But anyway, I think she went to fight the courts on this, because she said, look, this is a complete example of, this isn't that you're so pro-life. That's essentially what it is. Like, no abortion, we are pro-life, but you are potentially impacting my ability to give life in the future to a baby because of my circumstances. And so they took it to the courts, and it really didn't, I think then they had to take it to the Supreme Court. It was this whole process, and long story short, the verdict was no, doesn't matter, no exceptions being made. You live in Texas, from no one in Texas is going to, be able to help you in this situation as far as abortion goes, because if a doctor were to support you in aborting a child, then they could lose their license. Like, there was a lot at stake. So she told me, and I probably am butchering a little bit timing and all of that around that story, but I guess I bring that to you because isn't it so interesting that, you can have all of these laws in place and it's like, yeah, pro-life and all of these things, but the implications that can have, because everyone's situations are different and everyone's circumstances are different. And so if you're doing a blanket rule around things like, no abortion, that can look so different to so many different people and can have huge implications, to people's lives. And you look, coming from Australia, that blows my mind. The fact that you don't have the right to have an abortion or to have a say in what is happening to your own body. and the outcome of that. So, I mean, I find that completely horrifying. That's only my personal opinion, but very interesting as you travel around and hear, the way that different people live. And so she said, yeah, a lot of pros as well with that conservative government, but, unfortunately, a lot of elements that we're like, oh, that's a bit of a head scratcher. But look, all in all, a fantastic time in Austin. I'm leaving tomorrow for New York City, which I feel will be very on the go and very yes, I've got that's where I'm meeting my sister who lives over there. A lot of my other sister from London's coming in a couple of days time too, and then there's a few Aussies who are also coming to join for the celebrations for my sister's birthday, so cannot bloody wait. Hopefully I don't have a 6 hour wait at the airport when I get there tomorrow like I did coming into Austin, but I will certainly keep you posted. And yes, as I said, stay tuned for a couple of episodes' time. As soon as I get off that TV set, I'm going to be hitting my mic and giving you guys the ins and outs of the first time Leonie was on TV. So I feel as though so many people that I've reached out to, particularly just mainly family who I've mentioned this to, have been so incredibly excited for me too, because they know, how much of a goal it's been. And sometimes it is pretty amazing to look at someone's journey and go, wow, like, they're starting to sort of achieve the things that they, that were always like pipeline dreams that I was putting out to the universe. So yes, I will leave it at that for now. For those listening, firstly, thank you so much for taking the time. If you're not already following us on Instagram, please feel free to do so. We are at Parenthood Pod, so that's POD. I will put the details in the show notes as well. If you could give us a rating and a review, that would be amazing too, as the apps do prioritize shows that have higher reviews and higher ratings, so we'll be able to grow faster, and get in front of more people if you do take the time to just do a quick rating for us. We will be in touch. In the meantime, take care, and I'll see you on the other side.